Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Alright, welcome in to the Woodward Sports Network. It is Woodward Nights with the one, the only Booner and Broder. Appreciate all of you guys locking in with us. Wednesday, let's go. It is Bears Week, Broder.
Chicago Bears coming to town.
FTB.
Let's go.
We should start that chant off in the chat right away.
FTB. What does that mean? Spell out that acronym.
Oh, yeah, you know. This is a kid-friendly show. Broder only gets to swear once a month. He's already used it up. Hey, we appreciate all of you guys tuning in with us. Look at people already doing it. FTB.
Oh, yeah.
Love all of you guys. That's what we're talking about. It is a big week for Detroit Lions, especially when you get to go up against, I think, one of your biggest rivals in the NFL, the Chicago Bears. We all hate them. We've got a full show for you guys. We're going some Lions, Bears action today. We've got Broder, as always. He was in Allen Park all day long with every single player there, coaches. He talked to so many different people.
We just set up a line where just each one of them just filed through. I got to ask them all one question. No, that didn't happen.
He drank a beer with each player, each coach.
The post-practice beer.
Smashed
that
right
carbohydrate to recover the body, the lactic acid.
With beers?
Yeah, well, not really, but kind of. I mean, there's a lot of water in beer. Carbs in beer help you recover.
Okay. I'm going to start having a beer after every show to recover.
Do it.
Okay.
There are other side effects to having beer, but yeah, hey.
A little bit of a gut.
Yeah, just as long as you know all the symptoms, all the familiar symptoms of a crackhead. Old Dave Chappelle skit.
Hey, yeah, shout out Dave Chappelle. We've got a packed show, though. We've got Jalen in the house, as always. TDing with us here on the ones and twos. And we've got Nick in the sound booth as well, on the sound, as always. Full crew.
In the nighttime, boys. Let's have a show.
Yeah, baby. It's already Wednesday. Jalen said that before the show. The week's going by quick.
Flying.
How many more games or days until the game? Like 3 or 4 more days. We're right there.
3 days, we'll call it.
We're right there, man. I cannot wait to see this team play again.
It's I guess our second division game, the Lions' second division game. This is a big one. I know it's the Bears are 3-7, but this is one of those games. I don't know. We just had a big win against the Chargers. It could sneak up on you. I have full confidence in Lions, but this is not a game to take lightly. And to be honest, that was the theme down in Allen Park.
I saw the stat today, and actually someone at the press conference brought it up. Detroit Lions have won 6 straight division games. First time since maybe the 60s or 70s since they've done that.
Let's make it 11.
Which is nuts. So 6 straight, that's like going 6-0 in the division, basically.
Yeah.
Because they lost 1 division game last year, 5-1 in the division.
To the Vikings. The last second, the poor clock management, poor game management.
He's learned from that, though. Shout out to Dan for that. For the show today, though, fellas, make sure if you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us. Share the stream with someone. Put it on your social. Send it over. Text it to 5 or 6 people. Remember, in middle school, when you used to get those text chains, and it was send this to 5 people or you'll die or something?
Oh, yeah, dark, but
yeah, you remember that, though?
Yeah.
Do that with the show.
Or your crush will start to like you.
Yeah, no, or your boyfriend or girlfriend will break up with you. It was like the most wildest.
Or you'll lose one of your arms.
Oh, yeah, that would suck. It's like that hot tub time machine. Remember that?
No. I remember that movie. I don't remember that part.
The guy in the hot tub time machine, he had no arm in the future, and then they went back in time, and they were he just kept almost losing his arm, and they were like, oh, is it happening now? And then he saves it.
That's funny.
And it just kept happening all movie. It was great. Hey, on the show today, though, we have 8:15. We're diving in a little bit. I know it's a little early, but Wednesday today, a couple days out, we're going to dive into Lions, Bears, kind of way too early thing. The question I posed, Broder, was is this Bears team, let's say, kind of real? Is this a team that the Lions need to take seriously, or is this just one of those bottom-of-the-barrel teams? We're going to talk about that at 8:15.
See what you did there.
8:30. Oh, yeah. 8:30. We're going to talk about the defense here. Dan Campbell spoke about Bruce Irvin. 0 sacks versus the Chargers. Some pressures, but there's been some worries, I think. So I do have some questions for you on this, Broder.
He was a little more confident than most people.
He was, but I don't know if you noticed today in the press conference. I noticed this watching it. there were majority questions about this defense. That was like the biggest worry. I think the only question not about defense was about J-Mo, which was a great. We were going to talk about that. And actually at 8:45, we're doing a whole segment on Jamison Williams. Dan Campbell spoke about him. Antoine Randall L spoke about J-Mo. Everyone seems to be talking about him this week in a positive note. We've got some clips for you guys on that and some things to talk about in a positive note. We're not going to be negative about J-Mo today. Not allowed. That it won't be allowed. Not today.
We're gonna win with them.
We're gonna be the front line of the J-Mo police. Like, we're gonna make sure people like are in line on this.
Wavy Gang, where are you?
Yeah, Wavy Gang. 9 o'clock.
9.
Dan Orlovsky actually had something really. He always talks about the Lions really well. Had something really, really good actually about this Detroit Lions coaching staff and the offense. We're gonna talk about that at 9 o'clock. 9:15 Lions. We're gonna continue on the offense there a little bit. We're gonna look at some other teams. I have some stats from teams from last year that went to the Super Bowl and the top 5 teams in the NFL last year. I want to compare the offenses real quick.
When I saw this in the show prep, I was excited. I was like, interesting, Booner. You're cooking a little bit back there.
I texted you. I was like, we've talked about the offense a lot because it's been like the biggest thing in the NFL.
Yeah.
What's a different approach to do it? I wanted to compare it to some of the contenders last year.
Fantastic idea.
And I have some stats here. Not really big stats, but I just have a couple things here to kind of prove a point about how this team can contend. That is at 9:15. 9:30, we're going to talk a little bit about some not college football, about the NFL MVP.
Yes.
I had a little brain fart there. And then 9:40, we're going to talk about the college football playoff, which was revealed. A little bit of Michigan stuff too. I think I saw a couple things on Twitter about 2 or 3 minutes ago before we started about Michigan and college football. So we might bring that up. But Broder.
Yes, Boone.
Packed show. First thing I want to bring up here. Did you see the Detroit Lions are hosting a premiere for the Barry Sanders documentary at the Fox Theater on Friday? And I did put it here. Me and you did get tickets to it. We were invited.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we were invited. We had to respectfully decline because we have Woodward Nights from 8 to 10 p.m. We cannot make it to the Barry doc. They wouldn't give us the night off.
What? Come on, guy. Who do we talk to about this?
I don't know.
This is for Barry. We should host it during the show, at the show.
We should do Woodward Nights in the lobby at the Fox Theater.
That would be epic, actually.
We should do that. There's a lot of people, though, that are going to be Jared Goff, Dan Campbell. Those are the 2 biggest names I saw.
And how do people go, if I'm not mistaken, is it only for Lions loyal members? Or is it?
I think so.
Okay. Do you know if they're going to open it up? I think I have some information on it, but are they going to open it up to the general public at some point, or is this just like a special premiere, kind of a bonus for being a Lions loyal member?
I think it may be a premiere. I have to go look here real quick. Let me see if I can find this, because what I saw was just there was certain people invited.
Gotcha.
I think it's certain season ticket holders are invited, and then they have a list of people. I saw Jared Goff, Chris Spielman, Jahmyr Gibbs, Barry, Dan Campbell, people like that, and some VIP people will be in attendance. I don't know if there's tickets for it. That would be. I would, if we didn't have Woodward Nights, I for sure would have bought tickets. And
it looks like a private screening of the documentary for Lions loyal members, preceded by a VIP red carpet for media opportunities.
You probably actually could have gone.
Could have, but
I'm
here.
We did have tickets. We got invited. Well, they were like,
I'm here.
Out of all the shows, we want Woodward Nights
in the nighttime.
In the night.
You might be doing Friday's show alone, Boone.
I'll go kneel on them real quick.
You'd be a good kneel.
I think I might
Daddy?
be able to. I can talk.
Daddy.
Whoa, man.
Uncle?
Come on.
Come on, man.
What are we doing
Come
here?
on, what are we doing?
Did you see last night? The heavies actually touched on it right away, though. The Draymond Green fight.
Yeah.
I
actually heard Braylon talking about it earlier today. Yeah,
it's crazy.
What do you think? I mean, what's your initial reaction?
Initial reaction, and this is how my brain works. If you guys are like, how does the Booner brain function? First thing I thought of was Draymond Green's 2-0 with 2 TKOs. that man's knocked 2 people. He's choked out someone and he's knocked someone out. He is 2-0. Dana White needs to give him a call and say, hey, Draymond, we could make you some money over here.
Jeff Brewster coming in hot, my guy.
What's happening?
$25 from Jeff Bruce.
Whoa, Jeff.
Jeff Brewster, thank you, man. Dude.
Shout out.
Epic chat still.
That's huge. Yeah, we appreciate everyone in the chat. Honestly, make sure you guys share the stream. Let people know about this. Yeah, the Draymond thing's crazy. I saw a lot of people. There was a lot of people, like, when I was at work there, there's some people said, like, give them 10 games. I think that's a little, like,
people were calling for
outrageous.
big-time suspensions.
Yes. And I get kind of a little bit of the argument. I heard it on ESPN. They were talking about if he just keeps acting like this, like, if you don't suspend him, he's going to just keep getting away with it. And Kendrick Perkins spoke about it, too. And he was like, hey, when I kept getting teed up and I kept getting in fights and stuff, and I was running in the back fighting Zach Randolph in the back, he was like,
Who said that?
Kendrick Perkins.
He ain't do no.
But he said they made him. They get finding him, suspensions, and then they just sent him over to anger management, and he was like, I had to do that, and he was like, the one thing they taught me at anger management was you have to, basically come out and say, hey, like, you have to take responsibility. And Draymond, I don't know if you guys saw, put a tweet out there and was like, I've been in the league for 12 years. Why are you guys going to keep telling me how to be?
Perkins.
And he was like, he was just basically like, stop telling me how to be. I've been doing this for 12 years. I'm not going to change for anybody.
The one thing I don't know about if I can approve of him choking Rudy Gobert out, but he was coming to Clay's defense. Like, all he was doing was backing up his teammate.
Well,
you see, and this is what Braylon called out. This is what I liked what he was talking about. You look at Rudy Gobert, 0 teammates around him for like 15, 20 seconds. No one gave it.
Pat Bev on his show came out, and Pat Bev, if you remember, he was in Minnesota, and he was teammates with all those guys. And he came out literally this morning. He had a show, and it was it was last night actually with Rome, and they had a reaction where they were filming the show right when it happened, and the first thing he mentioned was Cat,
nowhere to be found.
Edwards. Those guys were on the court and just waited, and then when they realized what was happening, they went over there and just like, oh, break it up. No one went at Draymond, nothing like that. And basically what he said was, hey, when it comes to the playoffs, now Draymond knows he's in your guys' head because you just did that and no one reacted, and Cat just like looked and smiled like,
they're not a winning franchise.
Like,
That's
I
why
taught you a lot better than
they
that.
got players. That's not a winning franchise.
No, yeah,
they got weapon. You got Cat. You got Anthony Edwards. You got Rudy Gobert. All these pieces. Actually, I don't think Rudy Gobert is that good, but he's a defensive stopper, and they're not good. They need to. If I'm Anthony Edwards, I'm doing whatever I can to get out there.
My guy Lou Sassel, kick him out of the league. Nah, you can't. I think you give him 3 to 5 games and let that go. That's where I'm at.
He should be suspended, but he shouldn't be kicked out of the league.
That's crazy. Kicked out of the league. Come on.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I don't think it's like a big deal.
I mean, would you have done that though?
Put someone in a headlock?
I mean,
I put my brother in a headlock plenty of times.
To an extent, though, I mean, like, if you look at the video, Rudy Gobert jumped in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Draymond's response was fine. Like, go tackle him.
And it's like,
he just got his neck.
So Draymond, he's a little crazy. I think he was just ready to go.
I do think too there is a point to it. Draymond and Rudy have had beef before.
Yeah.
So like they've gone at it before in the past. I think there was a little bit of I'm going to get him back here, and he just went a little overboard. So maybe a couple game suspension is fine.
Draymond's pissed. Rudy shut the NBA down. Rudy spread COVID.
He did.
It's true.
All right, factual statement.
He shut it down, and that video is still. It's still a pretty funny video that he like didn't know what was going on and did that.
Yeah, we were all.
I was in class when that happened, and then the next day it
who was the second team that was with Utah? Was that it was Phoenix? So I think. So what happened was I was downtown when all this was happening because obviously, I came downtown for the weekend. One of my friends lived downtown, and we were downtown. And I went to he worked at Rocket Mortgage in the Cube, the Chase building there, and I was sitting in the lobby. And someone in the security guard was like, hey, like Devin Booker, or it was someone on the Suns who ended up actually getting COVID that next day. They were like, oh, they were in the lobby sitting around here just yesterday, like, and they were like, thought it was the coolest thing. And then I left there and went back to my friend's apartment downtown. And then over the next 24 hours, it started saying, oh, these players are infected, this and this. And I'm like, well, bro, like this is cold. This is like a pandemic.
This is the very beginning of it.
And I'm like, I told my friend, like, bro, they were telling me that this player was in like where I was sitting, like in the lobby. He was at the ATM there. He was sitting there. I was like, I might have like this is not, and I ended up being fine. But it was just like I was like, what are the chances of me being in that?
That's how him and D Mitch got into. Remember that? Remember he got so Rudy Gobert was doing the little mic thing, and like a day after, that's when D Mitch was kind of like, I'm not messing with you no more. And then sooner or later he got traded.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
crazy.
Hey, that's
a great trade.
COVID was the downfall of the Utah Jazz.
100%.
The downfall of a lot.
That is crazy.
F COVID.
Yeah, screw it. Hey, let's go to the next segment here. We'll get into a break real quick. Do we have any injury updates leading into this next segment? We can do this for a minute or so.
Yeah.
Injuries from today.
Yeah, before we go into Lady Jane's, we'll talk about injuries. Halapoulivaati Vaitai is on the injured reserve, likely out for the season. Not officially likely out for the season. You don't know how much. It might be his career. I mean, it might be his Lions career. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's his back injury that kept him out of play all last season. That's flared back up. He had a little setback, so he's out. Who else? We got Bruce Irvin's on the practice squad. He's not going to be ready to play this weekend. He's got to get in game shape. They did sign offensive lineman Michael Schofield, a former University of Michigan Wolverine, a veteran. I think he was drafted in like 2016, 17-ish range. Yep. So they're adding depth to the offensive line. What else? I saw actually on the heavyweights they showed an injury report, but I never got one.
I have something here. Yeah. So today for practice, I don't know if they went full practice or what they did, kind of a walkthrough. Isaiah Buggs, illness, no practice. Jonah Jackson, wrist / ankle, no practice as well. That's a big one.
I think that was a rest day. I think Jonah Jackson's fine.
That's huge. Melifonwu, limited practice. Levi Onwuzurike, light practice. Khalif Raymond, ankle, light practice. Donovan Peoples-Jones, full practice today. Shout out. And Frank Ragnow, full practice, which I'm sure he'll be out tomorrow. Yeah. But yeah, I think the biggest ones there, Jonah Jackson and Buggs.
Yeah.
And then maybe Khalif, you could argue a little bit.
Yeah, that's his first time on there, so I don't know. He just seems like a little Iron Man. I don't mean to say little, even though he's not very tall. You know what I'm saying? He's an Iron Man. Jonah Jackson, I believe, he looked fine. He was happy in the locker room, just kind of playing around, jumping around a little bit. I think he's good. This is probably just hey, take a 50% today. Make sure you recover from this past game. You had an injury before. Let's make sure you're good.
Yeah, and I do want to say, too, I feel so bad for Big V. I feel so bad.
Yeah.
Like Dan said today, he's worked so hard to get back to where he is, and then just to kind of almost be out for the rest of the season and maybe his career. It's tough.
That signing of Graham Glasgow looks better and better each and every day.
It does. And that, what's his name? Colby Swazdell. Never know how to pronounce his name.
Colby Sorsdell.
Broder's guy.
Yeah,
Colby.
All right, let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Chicago Bears a little bit. FTB, we all know that.
Bear down.
We're going to lock in on that, see if this team is really something the Lions should worry about. But first, come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams. An all-expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds over here at Lady Jane's for Men's. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles vehicles of your choice. One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live this Sunday for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market. It's in Shed 5, and it's going to be a bash. Starts at 9:30, runs up until game time. You have the chance to come pregame with your friends at Woodward Sports Network and be treated like a VIP. We got food, we got entertainment, we got drinks, all included. Just buy your ticket at bullseyeeventgroup.com. Hoorah.
And we are back. It is Victory Wednesday. Detroit Lions edition. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all of you guys locking in with us here on a beautiful Wednesday night. Victory week still. Kind of flipped the page though, Broder. We did yesterday. I don't know why I keep saying Victory Wednesday. I'm happy the Detroit Lions are 7-2.
Me too.
I think we all can, and I think it's just being able to talk about a good football team. It's like, right? It's nice. You know what I mean? Like years past, it's like, all right, you have to talk about like, I remember when I first started doing like shows and podcasts and stuff, it was like a couple years back, and it was like everything about the Lions. Like I would have people on the show, and I would talk on the show, and it was like negatives. Like I would try and pull out any positive, and the other person people would just shut it down. And I was like, now we're on the big stage talking about
and there was no light at the end of the tunnel, but like years past, there's like there was, it felt like almost the Pistons a couple of years ago, where it's like, man, it's going to take years. So how do we deal with this? The negativity. The best part, the coolest part about this team, they're not only good, but like the future is bright. Like this team is built. It's built for the future. They're young. They got money. I don't know, man. It's a special thing. This is where Brad Holmes. This is where he really earns the big bucks.
Do you remember this time last year when we were 1-6, and there was all the conversations about who should get fired, who's to blame? I remember like shows here at Woodward, like we were having conversations about like how long is it, like what does the timetable look like for the next 2 or 3 years with this team? I don't think like when you're having those conversations, if like Booner from the future came back and told like all these people on the shows like, hey, listen, within the next 12 months, the Detroit Lions are going to be Super Bowl contenders, and you're going to be playing for the 1 seed. Everyone probably would just punch me in the face.
You crazy, Booner. That's what they'd say. You crazy.
Tell me that. They would have told me that much more, though.
No, yeah. But look at where we are.
Yeah.
All because
7-2, baby.
Brad Holmes.
15-4.
Dan Campbell. Ben Johnson. Aaron Glenn. Yeah, I'm including him.
Aaron Glenn. He's had some big games.
Dre Bly, Scotty Montgomery, Deuce Staley. This coaching staff, man. You got to draft the players, but they also sign these coaches who they continue to develop these young players. They don't all work out. That's okay. Not every football player pans out in the NFL, but they're developing, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun ride these next couple of years.
100%. Hang on tight. If you guys haven't yet, I know we had a little long intro there we had because I just started reminiscing a little bit about how bad of times it was 2 years ago. But hit that like button for us if you haven't already. We're at 32. Let's get over to 50 by the end of the show here. And let's keep this thing rolling. Share the stream with some people. Let's get into this, though. Chicago Bears.
Yes.
We all know FTB, we hate the Bears. I don't think if there's one person in the chat here that likes the Bears a little bit, you probably just aren't a Lions fan. Because if you're a Lions fan and you like the Bears, you're probably a scumbag. Fake. Yeah. Scumbag and fake.
Not as bad as Ryan Day.
No, not as bad as Ryan Day because you are a Lions fan. But
like a Jim Tressel.
Yes.
Step under in terms of scumbaginess.
I'll give you that.
Dear.
Or like a Paul Cinnabon.
Paul Cinnabon, the SEC guy. Yeah,
the SEC guy. Yep.
Feinbaum. We're calling him Cinnabon. I do like that nickname. Like we're just gonna roll with that.
You know, they're just like little sweet, little little cute Cinnabons.
Yeah, the Bears have always just been a thorn in the Lions' side. Like,
yes.
For all these years of the Lions not having been a good team, the Bears haven't been perfect, but they've had some winning teams, and they've always played us tough.
They have, and I want to actually play a video right away after you saying that. And if you guys didn't already know, Broder was at Allen Park all day speaking with players, coaches. I know I mentioned that before. We have some videos kind of sprinkled out throughout the show of Dan Campbell, David Montgomery, Jared Goff, a few of the bigger names there. So the first one here, just what Broder just said there. The Bears have been a thorn in the Detroit Lions. Like, they have been a problem. David Montgomery spoke about when he first got to Chicago, what it was like playing the Detroit Lions compared to
you're
now.
Going here, yeah.
Yes, compared to now. And
this is funny.
It might make some people a little mad to start, like what he said, but it's actually really funny because it's a truth. And now, kind of seeing from then 3 or 4 years ago to now, night and day difference. So here's David Montgomery on him playing the Detroit Lions to start his career.
They're a really good scheme, really good defense. I know their principles. Coach Flus does a great job in making sure that those guys understand effort, and that's one of their core principles. And they live by that. And you can see it on film. Their record may not say it, but when you turn on the film and you watch how they play, this is not going to be an easy team that we play. It's going to be a dog fight. It's good. It's good to see where we'll be at, and we're ready for the challenge. Yeah, my first 2 years in the league, it was like stat games for me when I seen Detroit. Just me being honest. Me just circling the calendar of when I would play Detroit. But last year, even my first, second, and my third year, and then last year, it was just a whole different story. I'm like, maybe it was a fluke. And then they did it to us again the second year. It's the second time. I'm like, all right, maybe they the real deal. And then I got over here. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the real deal. Like, so I'm just happy to be a part of it, really.
David Montgomery, they were stat games. We're just gonna.
How many yards can I get? How many touchdowns can I get?
Let me just stat my pads. Like, let's just pad the stats. Let's just get as many stats as we can. That's what it was like for the Detroit Lions when they would go. Like, divisional teams thought about the Detroit Lions like that 2 or 3 years ago.
God, that's crazy.
And he just came here. He came out and he looked all of you guys in the face and said, "But now I got here and things are different, and I could tell what the culture's like here and what it's like here. Night and day difference. This Detroit Lions team, just like David Montgomery said." It's a completely different football team. They're not just a team that like divisional teams just, hey, we're going to count this as a win. We're going to beat up on you. They're like, no, this is a culture, the team with a great culture. David Montgomery, going from a team that just gets stats versus the Lions to now being on the Lions and building a real culture and a real football team. Broder, I think that's incredible to hear. That's nuts.
I think he's going to have a big game on Sunday, too.
I hope so. I hope he runs for like 200 yards.
You know how motivated he is to run well against them. He's got still a ton of friends on the team, but he knows how important this game is. Having been on the other side, knowing how things have changed. What? Something happened?
No, I just spilled a little bit of water.
Your face looked like something really exciting happened. But no,
this is my face.
David Montgomery, he's a stud. And just to hear, all right, last year, that first game, okay, there's something going on over there in Detroit. I wonder if this is a fluke. Second game, okay, something really is going on here. They just handed it to us. And now he gets here and he goes, man, this is legit. And you can see how hard he's running behind this line. I don't know if we have this video for later, but he was also talking about running behind this line and having, 4, 5, 6 yards in front of him before getting touched. And he's like, he hasn't played, he doesn't know what that feels like. He says going all the way back till high school, he never experienced that. And now with his skill set, with his maturity, he said, now that he even knows how to play the game and he gets this chance now in his career, he's in heaven. He's in heaven.
And just like, and you guys saw there at the first video there too that we played, he just spoke about kind of the schemes there that they, and he knows what Matt Eberflus was. He was there last year with Matt Eberflus in his first year. Like, he knows exactly what he's about. He knows what this team's about. I do think there's a side of D-Mont here as well, and this is where we're going to get into this Bears team a little bit. And we'll go a couple minutes over, I guess, here, because I did want to name a couple.
Just come back. We can
do that. But when we come back from break, there's a couple, like, the pieces that this Bears team has, they do have some dudes.
Yeah,
this isn't a secret at all. I know they've won 3 games so far. They have some players. Dan Campbell spoke about it. When we come back, we'll have a video on Dan Campbell actually speaking about the Bears team, because this isn't like I know you're a 10-point favorite and the Detroit Lions are a 10-point favorite. This is still the NFL, and a team like this, a 3-7 team or whatever they are right now, that's a team that can be dangerous.
Yeah.
And then especially when you do have some skilled players and you have some talent,
very skilled
team
players.
you do have to watch out for, especially in the division.
100%.
So, and I think they all know that. Dan Campbell spoke on it a little bit. Let's hit break, though. And when we come back, we'll play you guys that. We'll talk a little bit more about the Bears and Dan Campbell speaking on that.
Cool. So you want to tell them about the Lions pregame before you tell them about Big Boy?
Lions pregame show hosted by the one, the only Hollywood Jeff Ifrady, and myself will be on the show this week. I believe it's easy, actually, on the desk from Sunday from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. right before the Lions versus the Bears game. Make sure you guys tune into that for anything you need. Injury reports, breakdown of the game, matchups, all of that. Make sure you guys tune in on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. And then
Big Boy.
And then Big Boy. I'm sorry, I don't have my sheet here, fellas. So.
Oh, no problem.
All right, Big Boy. Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. How about some breakfast? That is right. The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The classic lumberjack or the Santa Fe garden. Also, try the new apple pie hot cakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with the gingerbread shake for dessert. And make sure you stop over by your local Big Boy.
Big Boy.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then, she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust, located on Woodward Mile just south of 9 Mile Road. Check out Les Stanford also in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all of you guys locking in with us. Beautiful Wednesday night. It's actually not. It's still warm out.
You could wear. They practice outside today. Like you could wear.
Yeah, I walked outside to go pick up some food, and it was like beautiful out. I had nothing. I just had this night. It's beautiful. I kind of can't wait a little bit for some snow, though. I do enjoy a little bit of just a little.
Just a tip.
Take it back.
Yeah, you take that back.
Like you guys don't like. I remember back in the day, like one of the best, like when you're in college or like even in high school, when you get a snow day and you can just sit inside all day, make some hot chocolate, maybe watch a little bit of Harry Potter or something like that.
Where can you go?
You know what I mean? Not to get it like weird here or anything,
Booner, but nowadays we have to go into work. Still,
I know.
Clean off your car.
That's
and
the
drive
problem.
to work in it. Yeah.
Like no matter what snowstorm comes through, I'm sure we're gonna have a night show. So it's like
in the nighttime.
Get ready for it.
Are you a marshmallows in your hot chocolate?
Bro, yes.
Are you a hot chocolate or hot cocoa?
What's the difference?
Say or nothing.
Hot
it's
chocolate.
like soda and pop.
I go back and forth.
Mini marshmallows or
mini.
Like
and then
mini,
some whipped cream
mini
on the top. Yeah, like the mini ones.
And not like the small ones?
No, small. Yeah, not mini, but
okay.
Small, yeah.
Good, cool.
I had a rule for the last few years that it can't have hot chocolate until the first, winter storm. But this year, there was something about it. I was like, dude, I just want to get some hot chocolate in me.
Good for you.
Pause.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. All right, let's get into it here. Don't want to waste any more time because we have this Bears conversation to have.
Bear
Dan
down.
Campbell spoke about it, and I didn't even mention it too. If you guys please hit that like button if you haven't already. Smack that thing.
On the floor.
Yeah, what he said. But I wrote down some names here on offensive, defensive side, Broder, because these pieces, they're like, this is a talented, as crazy as people don't want to admit, there is talent, yes. And I know they spent money for like their defense. They've brought talent in. They traded the number 1 pick to get some more talent. Like, they have tried to mix and match things and bring talent. So there is a point to where this team potentially at one point, they could have a big game. We saw it a couple times, like versus, I think it was Washington. I think it was in Washington where DJ Moore just went off. And
like 200 some yards.
So like there's those games that these guys can have. Like, all right, the defensive pieces here, fellas. Montez Sweat, TJ Edwards, Tremont Edmonds, Jalen Johnson, Eddie Jackson, Jaquan Brisker. That's 6 or 7 guys right there that are household names that everyone knows.
You want to know a stat I stumbled upon today? TJ Edwards. You know how many tackles he has on the season? Actually, let me start with this. You know how many tackles Alex Anzalone has on this season? He's had a good year, right?
75.
66.
Okay.
It feels like he's had a lot of tackles, right?
He's talking about him being in the Pro Bowl.
Being all over the field, just being a menace out there. TJ Edwards, 112. 112. And
it's the most by a Bears player, I think, through 8 or 9 weeks.
No way. Really? With their history?
Yes. That's the
Urlacher, Ditka. They're an organization known for defense. That's impressive.
Yeah.
TJ Edwards.
There's talent on this defense, Broder, and it's just you have to know what it is. Dan Campbell knows it, and then when you go on the other side of the ball, as much as we don't like it, Justin Fields, like I was one of the first people there. I heard all these people MVP talks with him, and I was one of the first people to shut it down as fast as I could. But they have Justin Fields, Dante Foreman, DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, Khalil Herbert will be back off for the IR. They have guys here, and they have dudes. So I do think that this is a game where you do have to take seriously. You have to lock in. Dan Campbell spoke about it today to the media, and here is him kind of breaking down on exactly how they need to lock it on this Bears team and not take them actually seriously. Oh, do you got that, Jalen? Dan Campbell?
I got it.
Danny!
Had a time lapse. I got it. Nasty time lapse.
And put all your focus on this tape, and you tell me what the tape says. And the tape validates everything I just opened up with. This team plays hard. They finish, and they got some dudes. They got on offense and defense. They got some players now. This is not the same team we played last year. It's not. So I keep it as simple as that, and tell them exactly how it is. You know, you don't know what it's going to take. But I mean, for us, we got to play a clean game. We got to be steady, and you don't know. It may take the fourth quarter to finally get this one, but so be it. We got to do what we got to do to win this game. But you just tell them exactly what it is, man. And it is as simple as that. Go watch the tape. The tape doesn't lie.
Tape don't lie.
It does not lie.
Ball don't lie.
No.
You know who he didn't bring up, you didn't bring up, was one of my favorite rookies, actually. Roshan Johnson.
Johnson.
I believe he's healthy. I just checked their depth chart. It doesn't look like he has an injury designation, but Roshan was one of those, sneaky draft picks that actually, before they took Gibbs, I was thinking, maybe he could be a guy a Lions target late in the draft. He played behind Bijan Robinson, a little bigger, a little not as agile, but the dude can do a lot. He was having a pretty good year before he got hurt. So Roshan Johnson, they're littered with weapons.
They are, and that's where it's just like it's one of those teams to where you should dominate them. And I truly believe the Lions should go out there and win by 20. Like, they're a 10-point favorite. They should go out there and just absolutely roll this team, especially at home in Ford Field. But there is that side to where, like you said, you're coming off a win, two or three in a row. You're sitting there at 7-2. You think that your stuff doesn't stink. Like you're out there work it. Like, it's just like that down week potential. Now, should it happen? No, because you're supposed to be a contender. And you know what's one thing that this Detroit Lions team hasn't done yet this year?
What?
They haven't dropped a game to a team that they weren't that they should be beating. I'm knocking on wood there, but do you see what I'm saying?
No,
like, they're taking care of business, unlike other teams around the league, like the Chiefs, the Dallas Cowboys, the 49ers. Like, you're one of those contending teams who is taking care of business in games you're supposed to. continue to do that, and don't let these. This is the roster looks nice on this Bears team.
It is,
but they're 3-7.
They're vulnerable and they give up a ton of points.
They do.
So they give up points in spurts. If they get behind, they struggle to regain that competition within the same game. They just sort of let the floodgates open. So if you can solidify your own run game at the beginning, even though they have a decent run defense, their pass defense, even with some of those people you mentioned, some really good defensive players, their pass defense is not so great. So you got to establish that run game early, kind of like the Chargers game, and then be able to pass. And it'll be a long one. It'll be a long one for the Bears if you just stick to your identity. If you wait back and let Justin Fields dictate the game, you let that defense get aggressive and Montez Sweat gets a sack. That you got to hold those guys off. Don't let them get into their bag, and you'll be successful.
That's one thing that Dan did talk about too. Someone asked him, you were there, someone mentioned about Justin Fields ran all over you guys last year, 100 yards in both games, and it's very well known. I don't even think Justin Fields has ran for 100 yards in a game this year yet. And I could be wrong on that. I know he's been hurt, but I just don't think he has been there. They're trying to do a whole different scheme with him. They're
trying to pass the ball. They're trying to get him to throw the ball more.
His biggest rushing game is 59 yards in week 1, and that's it.
Interesting.
So he's going for about 40-50, but he just is sitting there, and it's a little bit of a different Bears team because they have a DJ Moore. Darnell Mooney's been good. Cole Kmet's taken a step. So I do think there's that side to where it's all right, this is you should roll this team. But you as a contender, go do it. Don't sit back and wait for them to make you go out there, touchdown, stop, touchdown, stop, touchdown, 21-0 right away.
Yeah, I absolutely love that Dan Campbell is giving this team some respect, and obviously you're going to do that as the head coach. But a couple of 3 games I wanted to point out here. The Eagles have lost to the Jets this year. The Ravens have lost to the Colts this year, and the Chiefs have lost to the Broncos this year. The Lions have to be ready for this game, and I think that Dan Campbell is putting this into all these players' heads while he's saying this to the media. So I think it's a great point by Dan Campbell. You can't sleep on the Bears, even though I think everybody in this room thinks we're going to roll them.
Yeah, no, this is a game. Let me know what you think about this. They're similar. Well, not to take one from Ryan Fitzpatrick's bag. They're like the poor man's Baltimore Ravens when you think about it. And Justin Fields is not nearly on the same level as Lamar, but they're trying to keep him in the pocket. They're trying to get him to throw the ball more. It doesn't always look pretty, but he still has that athleticism, the ability to run.
Can break off.
It is, and historically, although we've been all right this season, historically the Lions don't do well against mobile quarterbacks, so it's something to be aware of. And that defense, like we said, is athletic. They got guys they got to make sure that they don't get the pressure that the Ravens got so early in the game. I'm not as worried, of course, but it's a similar type of makeup of a team.
Yeah, and I almost don't even want to say this year they've been great, Seattle, Kansas City, Baltimore. They've struggled in those games. Lost 2 or 3 of those games, and those are mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So it's Justin Fields, you're supposed to roll this team. You're a 10-point favorite, but this is what your weakness has been. And we're going to talk about the defense, too, in just a little bit. We're going to get into that at 8:45, actually, and we're going to kind of lead into that here after this segment is his defense, because I think that's what it comes down to. We have 2 separate segments today about both sides of the ball. 2 segments in regards to this Lions offense, because they've been so good. Dan Orlovsky came out and talked about their coaches and the offense, and we have some things we want to talk about looking back at other teams that have won Super Bowls, comparing this offense to that. Now on the other side of the field, it's this defense has to step up and do something. You can't let this be the game that Justin Fields gets his first 100 rushing yard game.
Right.
Cannot let that happen. You can't let DJ Moore do what he did versus the Commanders. You can't let Cole Kmet do what he's been doing.
You can't let DJ Moore do what Keenan Allen did to you. DJ Moore, you can't let a receiver dominate you like Keenan Allen did. The Lions did enough against the Chargers to win that game, but you can't rely on that each game. And if DJ Moore starts opening up the field, then that just makes it that much easier for Justin Fields, for Cole Kmet. Even Darnell Mooney, Dan Campbell called out today. I'm not really worried about him, but he is a weapon. I'm not worried about. I'm also not worried about Equinemius Brown.
Yeah. Did you watch I haven't watched the full episode.
I didn't either.
Come out today.
It was pretty good.
Was it a good one with Jameer Gibbs?
Yeah.
Mad shit talk at the beginning.
The beginning, I got about 10 minutes into it, and then the whole beginning is just him and his brother going back and forth about the Bears and Lions.
Equinemius he's a professional troll. With all due respect, I mean, he's the older brother. That's what they do.
This show, it was Amon Ra.
Yeah,
he was the one that was trolling, and it was cutting deep.
This is a game of reunions when you think about it. D-Mont not returns, but D-Mont plays the Bears. Equinemius and Amon-Ra St. Brown duo from Oregon, El Penny Sewell and Noah Sewell. This is a reunion. This is their first time playing each other, so that'll be fun. I know Amon-Ra.
Does he play a ton?
I don't know, actually. I don't think so.
I'm gonna look that up on the break here.
Do it.
I want to kind of know.
Do it after you tell the people about Woodward and Maine, and then I'm gonna tell them about Dispo, and then we're gonna come back and we're just gonna keep talking about
Love this man. Let's
Lions.
go. All right, Woodward and Maine. It is the Woodward Sports Lions Insider Show, hosted by Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster, Detroit legend. Make sure you guys tune into that Tuesdays 7 to 8 a.m. and then this Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. for all of your guys' insider information with the Detroit Lions breakdown, game predictions, everything you need. That's on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
And then, if you want to get a free turkey next Tuesday, join Braylon Edwards at Dispo Dispensary at their Hazel Park location, on Tuesday, November 21st for their Thanksgiving turkey giveaway starting at noon. At noon, Dispo will be giving away Thanksgiving turkeys over the course of the day. All you have to do is purchase any product from Dispo Hazel Park on Tuesday afternoon, and you'll receive a turkey available while supplies last. So Dispo Hazel Park is located at 634 9 Mile Road in Hazel Park. Pull up, re-up, and grab your bird for Thanksgiving dinner.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
How would you like to win a $100K Vegas getaway? Take your friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack of Cintron today and enter to win at drinkcintron.com/Vegas. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste so you can look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Cintron. Enter now at drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
All right, welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. If you guys haven't yet, hit the like button for us. We're at 50 right now. Let's get up to 75 before 9 o'clock. Hit it. And subscribe. Make sure you guys subscribe. How many are we at? 55.5 thousand. We're rolling. I remember when we hit 50. We hit 50 out in the show, didn't we?
I think so. We'll say we did.
I think we did. It was on the show live. We hit 50.
Yeah.
I saw the number click right in front of our eyes.
Ding.
Appreciate you guys, though. We're going to get into this here, the Detroit Lions defense, though. And by the way, update, Noah Sewell, he has played, I believe, in 5 games for the Chicago Bears. He did play last week versus the Carolina Panthers, had one solo tackle. In every game he has played, he has at least one tackle.
If I were him, I would hate going up against Penne.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I'm sure he's just doing special teams.
I know.
Is my guess.
Yeah. He's not giving away Penne's tricks, though. He's not telling the guys how to beat his brother. Yeah,
Hey,
he probably
so,
is.
There's no way to beat him. Sorry about that, Boone. You can't beat Panay.
He's the best in the NFL.
Sexual.
Amon-Ra St. Brown told his brother that he was like, you better not be giving the Bears anything about me. Like, don't tell. Like, we have a brotherly bond here. You don't give this up. And his brother was like, oh, they actually haven't asked me about you.
Interesting.
I don't know if that. I think they were just going back and forth.
Terrified of him.
Yeah, they were just going back and forth.
Yeah.
Defense, though.
Defense.
This is a big worry.
Bruce.
And when I say a big worry, I don't mean it's like a woo, but like it's more so like this team's so good that we have to pick on something.
Poke a hole.
Have to find something to we can't be positive the whole time. Right. And this defense is something that we could talk about a little bit.
Yeah, and they have some holes, or at least some things. They're not as elite in certain areas as their offense, which as of recently has seemed pretty flawless. And you're going to experience injuries. There are going to be things that happen over the year that you can't control. But that defense, I don't think they put together a full, complete game. I know the Lions haven't put together a complete game. I don't think the defense has either. There have been really good coverage games. There have been really good defensive pass rush games. The linebackers have played well, but they haven't done it all three levels in conjunction. Yeah. I think we need to see that in the next couple games. I don't think you need that to win some of the next couple games, but we want to see that. If you start doing that, you start dominating those games.
100%. And I think too, Broder, like the part with it, like on the offensive side of the ball, the reason that you really look at this defense because the offense, they put full games together all the time. Yeah, like it feels like every week that offense is just buzzing the whole time. Maybe one possession in a game here or there, they've shut down. I know the Ravens game was like really bad, but outside of that, this offense has been kind of buzzing all season long, and they're the second best in the NFL. So this defense, when you're looking at it, you're like, okay, what do we need to do to get better? And Dan talks about it every day. It feels like it's like, when can we just put all three phases of this game together and play complementary football? Yes. When can we do that? When we do that, this team goes to the Super. Like this team is a Super Bowl winning team,
without a doubt.
And that's what it comes down to. Dan, he did talk about Bruce Irvin coming in. The morning show did actually a pretty good breakdown. I don't know if you watched this morning in regards to
I might have missed that part.
Yeah, so Jeff had some good stats in regards to it. He said one of his friends had some stats to where
awesome.
Comparing kind of pressures to some of the Lions players now. And last year when Bruce Irvin played, per every single, I think it was every 8 snaps, Bruce Irvin produced a pressure. This year, the second most on the Lions is the commish.
Yeah.
He produces a pressure once every 9 snaps.
Wow.
So last year, basically, what Jeff was saying was Bruce Irvin was kind of producing at a higher level than the commish.
Who is the second behind Hutch?
Who is the second behind Hutch. So if he comes in here, and I get it, he hasn't played all year yet, but once he gets into that shape and gets going, that's a guy to where it's like he's like going to be like one of your backup guys. He's not going to be on Hutch level. I know everyone wanted to chase you. You wanted one of those guys on that level. Guess what? You didn't get him. You got a guy here with commish to just hopefully, like some of these guys just aren't producing at all.
At all.
Like Charles Harris, healthy scratch. Like you need a guy like a Charles Harris who isn't a healthy scratch and is at his like that A game every single game.
No scratch is healthy if you have to scratch it that often.
What he just said.
I just came up with that too.
But here is Dan Kimball. We got a video actually on Dan Kimball talking about Bruce Irvin Broder, and he kind of breaks it down. It doesn't sound like Bruce Irvin's going to play this week.
No.
I think it might be a week or maybe even 2 weeks. But here's Dan talking about Bruce Irvin and kind of him coming in to the Lions.
Some veteran guys that we feel like, it's hard to find players as the season goes on here that you may need. So, we added both those guys to the vet squad. We got, Kendall Vildor as well. So that gives us some veteran guys that have played some football that we have interest in. They have versatility, and that's really what it is right now. Let's see where it is. For a guy like Bruce, for example, he came in and gave us a little workout yesterday, enough to see where he's at. He's got superhuman genes, by the way. This guy, he takes great care of himself, but he's not in football shape. He's in shape, but he's not in football shape. So we got to get him there first, and then we'll see where it goes.
All right, you guys heard it there. Dan Campbell speaking about Bruce Irvin, kind of him coming into the Lions facility this week. And he said it himself. He's got like superhuman strength, and he's out there. He's dominating. And obviously, like he said, he's not in football shape, but he's in great shape. And once he gets in football shape, just add a piece. I think it's like we talk about Ndamukong Suh. We talk about adding different pieces. That's basically what you did.
Yeah,
it's not the guy you wanted. You basically just added a piece to complement
I think he's going to get a little more production, or the Lions are going to get a little more production out of him than you may expect. And it's more of a gut feeling type of thing. I think at the very least, him being here now, whether he produces or not, it will only help Aiden Hutchinson's career moving forward. Like, it's a perfect mentor-mentee type role where he can come in. Aiden Hutchinson is a mature. He's a second-year player, so he's young, but he's a mature human being. So he's looking to soak up all this knowledge. And when you look around him, there really aren't any super skilled veteran edge rushers that he's played with. I don't want to shame Charles Harris too much, but having someone who's been to he won a Super Bowl with Seattle?
Yes.
Won a Super Bowl with Seattle. He's been in the league for 10, 11, 12 years. Some guy like that could be game changing for Hutch.
He hasn't learned, like, when you're under veterans and different high level pass rushers. I know right now he might not be at a high level, but he was at one point of his career.
Oh yeah,
he had 8-9 sacks in his career in a season. So like just like the little tricks, and I know there's the D line coach. Like, I know there's guys like that can, like, hey, do this, do that. But when you're like, don't have that veteran defensive rusher or the edge rusher, which the Lions have never had since he's been here.
No.
Now he's able to learn a little bit more. He might be able to. I saw people joking around. Now Hutch can finally learn something else but a spin. Like, that's serious. Like, he's actually going to, like, get better from this.
100%.
As much as you're like, oh, he might not produce. Like, if Bruce Irvin goes in there and gets you a few sacks this year, that's huge. Because how many does John Kaminsky have? How many does Charles Harris have?
0?
I think I'm pretty sure I did a couple, like last week. I think I combined all of the edge rushers, and all of the edge rushers outside of Hutch had the same amount as Hutch at one point. Like, I think they had like 4, and he had 4.5. And like Aleem had, obviously, that I didn't count Aleem in the linebackers. But it's basically just been Aiden Hutchinson, Aleem McNeil, and Alex Anzalone and Derek Barnes. That has been the group that's been getting sacks here on this team. It has been no one else coming from the other side. So now you just get a guy in there that might give you a little spark. It might give you something there. Might go get you 3 or 4 this year. That is just a game changer for this defense, brother. I think it's huge.
Yeah, I think it's just a savvy signing. It's not going to blow the top off the roof, blow the roof off the house. Whatever the phrase is.
I get messed up.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Who knows how much it helps John Scott Jr., who's a first-year coach in the NFL. I really like John Scott Jr., and I like what he's doing. He's a defensive line coach for the Lions, but who knows? Someone like this could be valuable for him, too. So I like it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you can.
Scale of 1 to 10. What is your trust level on this defense right now?
6.5.
And compare that to your trust level on the offense.
9.5.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a big problem. If you want to contend and you want to do what you want to do, like that's a problem.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with the defense.
The defense, that I know they have it in them to play a full game to beat any team in the league, but I have a hard time believing each game that they're all going to play well. I can't. The defensive line, I like the pieces. They don't blow me away, though. I don't expect them to go get 5-6 sacks like sometimes we need them to.
Yeah.
So that's just I don't see them ever being a dominant defense. As good as they've been in the run, I don't know if that can be dominant. I don't think they have the depth or the talent. I say that respectfully. They don't have the talent. They have talent. But it's not like the San Francisco 49ers. It's not like the Ravens, whoever the Browns, that's who I should have said.
Booner, I just looked this one up for you. Between the two Okora brothers, Josh Pascal and John Kaminsky, all of your starting other ends, basically, you have 3 sacks total.
That's brutal.
That's just unacceptable from an NFL team. To be honest, if you want to contend with those other elite teams when it comes down to these playoff scenarios, unless you are constantly blitzing linebackers or safeties coming off and getting pressure. So I do like this signing, and hopefully it brings some sort of spark to the other side of that line.
Yeah, and right now, the Detroit Lions, guess where they rank in the NFL for sacks?
What? Where?
21st. Or 22nd. I apologize. I gave them one spot. They have 21 sacks on the year, tied for 22nd. That's unacceptable. Like, that's... And people want to sit here and blame Hutch and be like, oh, well, Hutch needs to turn pressures into sacks. No, it's Hutch could keep getting to the quarterback, but are there anyone who's there to back that man up?
Imagine if there was someone else there, how many sacks he would get versus just putting it all on him. He's getting pressure, so where are the sacks for everyone else? How about if there was another piece that was at least scary, at least like putting some threat on the quarterback? Hutch might have 3, 4, 5 more.
You know what, Nick? I heard you say this on the heavyweights too, and it was a great point. Aaron Glenn needs to start scheming up some more blitzes. He needs to start doing some more. He needs to start making some more moves on that defense. If you realize, like, if you notice, hey, my defensive line isn't having the production that we need to have to win football games and get stops, you need to do something different. And when you see, like, I don't know if you guys remember this last game when you guys saw multiple times Alex Anzalone or Derek Barnes blitz, and that was when the pressure was on. That is when Justin Herbert almost got sacked and got thrown to the ground. That is when things changed.
That's when he threw an interception.
That's when he threw an interception. That's when Jimmy G went down. That's when these guys, like, versus the Seahawks. Guess who had the 1 sack in the Seahawks game? Guess who he blitzed? Alex Anzalone. Though, like, if you don't have the guys on your defensive line, you only have half of them. One of your half's doing it. Make up for it. If you don't have the guys on the other side, put Alex Anzalone on the other side. Jack Campbell. Let them get to the quarterback that way.
Put all the linebackers in. Screw it.
Jeez, man.
Screw it.
My nose is getting stuffed up. I don't know why.
I know. They need to be a regular in the backyard like they're regulars at Hamlin Pub. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, baby. Hamlin Pub. Have you ever wanted a pub or a bar? Not a pub, but a bar where you are a regular. We have just a place for you. Oh, make sure you guys head over to one of Hamlin Pubs. They have 7 locations. An experience where everyone is a regular. Half off pizza on a Thursday. Game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games. That is Hamlin Pub. It is the place to be. Visit the location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Do you have football on the brain? Well, fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is awesome. Fall is also the perfect time to shop for your home and auto insurance. So shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. So ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177. Yo.
And we are back. It is the Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all of you guys locking in here. Look at Broder here to the beat. Bang. All right. Wednesday night. We appreciate you guys locking in. Make sure you hit that like button. We still haven't hit 75 yet. Make sure we hit that, fellas, if we can get that, smash that like button for us.
That'd be awesome.
Real quick, a comment here. Eduardo O'Neal. Shout out, Eduardo. He said this team will inflate their sack total these next 2 weeks, and everyone will be happy, and then we'll come back down to earth in like 3 weeks after that. I feel like that's happened a few times this year, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a way to disagree, but they'll have some. We got to see it consistently. Like I do think they'll have some games. The Chicago Bears offensive line's not that good. Justin Fields likes to scramble a bit, so there's some sacks in there if you get him behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
I just hope you don't want that okay, 2 good games and then 0 sacks. How about a little bit of consistency, you know?
That's what I just want. Like,
consistency.
It doesn't, like, just not 0. Like,
yeah,
just
like 1.
2 or 3.
1.5.
Yeah, like, had that 5-sack game, and the next game, just go get 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then once you're done with the 5, like, do another 5, and then get another 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the zeros is just...
Because now we're doubling up on a lot of teams now. Now's the time. Get your sacks so they have to game plan for them the next time. You got the Bears twice. You got one more out of the Packers. They had a lot of sacks in that game. I can't remember.
They had 5.
They had 5 against the Packers.
Yep.
That's
5
right.
or 6.
That's right. That's right. And then you got the Vikings twice. So you got to make Josh Dabalina put him on the ground.
Josh Dabalina.
Yeah.
What a name.
Yeah.
All right, brother. This is a good segment here.
Seggy.
A lot of people. There's someone. Shout out Flannel Sam. Birthday yesterday. Happy birthday. Turned 45. I'm just 45. Kidding. No, I don't know how old he is. But he sits in this chair and he goes at J-Mo a lot. There are people who do not like Jameson Williams, or not that don't like him, but just don't have the faith in him that he can kind of turn into what we were expecting him to be. And I've kind of turned that corner a little bit, brother. And not in the fact, I don't mean like I turned the corner against J-Mo. I'm all on J-Mo's side.
Oh yeah,
I think J-Mo, like what we saw the other day, and what we've seen in spurts. I'm convinced a little bit here. Once J-Mo gets going, and I think it was like. I know I said DPJ would take pressure off of him. I think there's just there's that feeling that the pressure has been taken off a little bit for him the last couple weeks. I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened, but the last 2 games, you can feel that.
I know what it is, and it's exactly what Dan Campbell said, and it was the best line probably in all the press conferences this year. He said Jameson's he now feels like one of the guys. Like he's out there. He feels a part of the team. He feels like one of the guys. Like I don't care how many people out there think wide receivers blocking is not important. There's something about what he does when young wide receivers block. It's important. When Jameson Williams is doing this, when you see the smile on his face, when you see him so excited to do all the things other than catching. Yes, pause for a second because we do need him to catch the ball. But when you see him getting ingrained in this team like he is, it's the beginning of something special. Like this, we're talking about this amazing offense, right?
Yeah.
J-Mo had 2 catches for 18 yards. Easily our number 1 weapon.
And this is something I could go off on all day. Like it's
get off, Booner.
It's completely time to end all the J-Mo stuff. Take the pressure off of him. Stop going at him and lock in and let him just play football. You saw he was a star at Alabama. We know exactly who he is. We know what he could do. We know his skill set. We know what he brings to this football team. Get off of his back. If he goes out there and gets 2 for 18 a game, okay, so be it. Eventually, he's going to go out there and have 100 yards and a touchdown.
Yes.
He's already showed he could score touchdowns. He's done it, 2 or 3 times already, and then he just did it again last week, and it got called back. It's not his fault it gets called back. He's getting in the end zone.
Yeah.
He's making plays.
And he's still putting that same effort after that touchdown. He didn't go to the sideline and sulk. He didn't get pissed at Taylor Decker. He gave the ball back to the referee and got right back to it.
And look what Dan Campbell said. He said his confidence level is in a great place right now. Dan Campbell, his confidence level is in a great place right now. J-Mo is in a great spot. The last couple weeks, he has been taking steps forward. Yes, a couple weeks ago he dropped a few passes. Who cares? He isn't even through a full season in the NFL yet. He's got the potential. He's got the talent. He's going to be able to break off for plays and give you something that you're going to want in the playoffs. Like, we're going to need a guy like J-Mo in the playoffs to make big plays.
Yeah.
Once he gets entwined into this Ben Johnson offense, game over. This is the best offense in the NFL. No question.
No questions asked. Before Dan Campbell was saying all this, too, he was commenting on Jameson Williams is improving. Like, he's becoming a better wide receiver. And then wide receiver coach Antoine Randall L. continued saying the same thing. Said his production is coming. He's going to get more production, but he gets excited about being where he's supposed to be. He gets excited about blocking. He then said his selflessness is coming out. Like, that's everything you could ask for on this team. Everyone who thought he's a diva or he makes poor choices, you can put as many McFlurries on your hamburger as you want. I don't care, as long as you're blocking downfield, as long as you're helping this team get W's. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and I saw a couple of comments in here. Eduardo, Booner and Broder, after that block on Sunday, J-Mo's about to get a huge play this weekend. Watch. I agree with that, and you know what? I put it in my notes here, and Eduardo, I'm glad you said that, because I put here, I think within the next few weeks, you're going to see a 100-yard game out of J-Mo, and you're going to see him get in the end zone again.
Yeah.
That is going to happen. He is going to have a breakout game soon. The fact that Dan Campbell came out and said his confidence level is at an all-time high right now. He feels like one of the guys. He's a part of the team. Let's not forget he missed 4 games.
Yeah.
He was not even with the team for 3 or 4 of them. He wasn't around the building. He's starting to get involved now. He's starting to be around the guys. He's starting to become one of these guys on the team. He's going to have a big game eventually. It's going to be one of these games to where he has 2 or 3 big catches, and it's going to add up for 100 yards. I truly think it's going to happen in the next few weeks. Nick?
Yeah, I think that game's going to come on Thanksgiving, nationally highlighted. But one thing with J-Mo and this Lions team that I want to highlight is the number 9. 9 wins since J-Mo has been in this lineup. This team is 9-2 when J-Mo plays. In the past 2 years, 9-2, you take that winning percentage every single day. It's not just about him catching the ball. It's about him getting so much attention where guys like St. Brown can absolutely eat. Sam Laporta absolutely eats. These running backs have way more time before they get hit or before they have to make a move because J-Mo's already downfield. That's the big thing about J-Mo. This team's 9-2 when he plays.
Also, he wears number 9.
That's what you said.
That was an addition in there.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, okay.
I thought that's where you were going. I was like, oh, shit.
No, there we go. Hey.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
There's a rumor that you have some new sound bites.
Yeah, they get just for the right moment, you know.
Okay.
I haven't heard one
just wait on them.
Is it like one of us or?
No, they're good. It's like some old coach. But yeah, J-Mo, super
surprise.
electric about it.
It's going to be a surprise.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Yes. Do you think I'm crazy for saying he's the number 1 weapon on this team? Number 1, that's ahead of Jahmyr Gibbs, ahead of Amon St. Brown.
You know what?
Ahead of Khalif Raymond.
I love J-Mo. Listen, it's tough. I'm going to hit you back with this. He has the highest ceiling on this team.
100% fair. Maybe that's how I should have actually said it.
I think he has the highest ceiling on this team.
He could be one of the most elite weapons in the entire NFL.
In the NFL, he could be like that Tyreek Hill, Justin. Like
yes, he could be on that level.
You got to get him there. You got to put him in the right spots. Wavy Gang podcast shout out. He said he wants to win, guys. He's not selfish of his team, and he wants to win. I agree because you want to know why? When he came back from that, suspension. Remember the first interview he had off the suspension? Was I really don't care what I do or anything. He's like, I just want to make sure I fit in with the team and that we keep winning because this team's like winning right now. They're on the streak. That's like the most unselfish guy of all time. And he comes from Alabama to where all they do is win. And like he hasn't showed anything. I think it might have been Herman Moore or someone said it the other day. I can't remember. It might have been Lomas Brown. It was one of these older Detroit Lions players, but they basically came out and said, one thing about J-Mo is he does not care about any like number. Like if he did, he already would have been making a big deal about it.
Gotcha.
He's all locked in on this team.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can't remember who that was. If anyone in the chat knows who said that.
I know. Shout out Byrne, by the way. Donated $5. Thank you, Byrne. Byrne says Devontae Adams had 4 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons and didn't get 1,000 yards until his 5th.
It takes time for people.
We still widely regard him as if not the number 1 receiver in the league, a top 3, top 4.
Yeah, I put it in my notes here too. I said you just have to make him comfortable, put him in a comfortable position, and put him in the right position to be successful.
He's special.
And I think it's like he's just one of those guys to where when you're in the NFL, it's like I guess it's like in Alabama you have so many weapons, but like in the NFL, like you have Amon St. Brown, you have David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond. You have guys, especially for a guy like him, to where you do have to remember he's not coming into a situation like a typical guy like him in the top 10 would come in. Like he was
to be the number 1 receiver and get all the targets.
He was expecting, like if you're the guy getting drafted in the top 10, 12, you're thinking I'm going to go into a bad team potentially who needs me, who needs the number 1 wide receiver, who's looking to build. He came into a Lions football team that went 9-8, who ended the season 8-2, almost made the playoffs. They had their weapons. He's just another piece. I guess it was the year before, but you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, a different team would need him or would need their number 1 receiver or their number 1 draft pick to be their number 1 receiver to get 6, 7, 8, 9 catches a game, 100-some yards for them to win. The Lions in this offense, they don't need him to get that. They might need him to get 3-4 catches for 50, 60 yards, or 2 for 80, or maybe it's 2 touchdowns. Whatever it is, they need him to do other things. It doesn't have to be a lot of volume. They just need him to be the weapon that he is out there and do the right things, run the right routes, make these blocks, and then when he gets the ball, he's going to do special things.
And the thing is, he's a first-round pick. You have him. You have the potential to have him for 5 years.
Yeah.
You have 3 more years after this.
Yeah,
so
which is huge.
If it's like a Devontae Adams situation to where it takes him 2 years to kind of really get into it, he's already shown flashes. Then it's like, okay, next year he's that guy with Amon-Ra St. Brown, a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. You have one of the best 1-2. You have that Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle duo.
Definitely.
You have that duo in the NFL to where you're not taking a step back. And then you re-sign Jared Goff. You have the best offensive line. We're going to talk about the offense a little bit. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself.
But
that's where I leave it at.
Before they stopped targeting him in the Chargers game, I can't remember if it was after the touchdown or if he had one more play after. They were doing some things that I really liked. I thought they had a good game plan in mind for J-Mo. They were getting him on some short slants. I think there was a wide receiver screen. Actually, that's the one it was. It was a wide receiver screen. It was on the right side of the field. And I do actually think he made the wrong, like he got the ball and went 5 or 6 yards. He made the wrong cut.
He was wide open, dude. I think it was the one.
He cut inside right into the linebacker.
Right before the half.
Yes.
He cut in when he should have just kept going straight.
If he went straight or to the right, he had all this field. He had a couple blockers with him.
Easy.
And I think that, I don't mean to call out a mistake as a negative, but I think those are the little learning experience. He's gonna feel that the next time. He's gonna know, okay, I made this move last time. There's a linebacker right there. I'm gonna stay to the outside like I'm supposed to. So, hey, this is a learning experience, but he did that and they still won. How about that?
Yeah, and I just wanted to, because Herman Moore was on the heavyweights, and they clipped out a video here. And Jalen, just let me know if I can send it to you, and then we can maybe play it out at the break or something. But Herman Moore kind of talked about it with Easy and Spencer about J-Mo and touched on that. And that was the very first question they opened with was, let us know what's going on with J-Mo. What are your thoughts? And Herman Moore right away was just like, he's going to be just fine. Like, he's proven like he has the skill set. He has the pieces. He has everything you look for in a wide receiver, especially a star wide receiver. He's going to be just fine. So I thought that was a sweet clip of Herman being able to talk about that.
How excited are you whenever the game comes to hear Naz and Stick talk about it in the Lions post-game show? Talk about him scoring 2 touchdowns. You want to tell them about it?
Yeah, I'll tell you guys about it. Lions post-game show. Make sure you guys lock in on that. That is the Woodward Sports Lions post-game show, to be exact, directly after every single Lions game, hosted by Tom Mazaway and Stick. As always, everyone, make sure you guys tune in. They take calls. They do everything. Do not want to miss out. Breaking down every single Lions win, drinking Kool-Aid, all of that on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
And then, Booner, if you're looking to get in shape this winter, where are you going to go?
Planet Fitness, baby. Where your fitness is essential. But Planet Fitness, it is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience, let me say this 2 times, squeaky clean gyms. Squeaky clean gyms. Cleaned by Matthew Broder
No,
himself.
they are actually so clean.
He goes there and he works out, and guess what? He gets the mop bucket. He cleans it up himself.
I lick the floor.
And you get full body workouts in just 30 minutes. All memberships include fitness training. Get all of that for just $10 a month right now. Make sure you guys go check out Planet Fitness. There are thousands around the world. There are tons and hundreds around Metro Detroit. Make sure you guys tune into, or not tune in, but make sure you guys go over to Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and WoodwardSports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
When it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. That means going to Premier Pet Supply because they are hands down Michigan's best pet store. They're family owned and operated for over 30 years. They got 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
And welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys locking in with us on beautiful Wednesday night. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. We're only sitting at 73 likes. When we get that over 100 here, I don't know what the heavyweights had. They did have Herman Moore on, so if we could somehow, beat the heavyweights when they have him on, that'd be epic. He's a legend, though.
Herman Moore's a legend. Yeah, Herman Moore, like, that was when I was growing up and starting to watch the line. Herman Moore, Johnny Morton. It was Lions football wasn't so great, but those guys are good. Robert Porsche, some legends.
I'm just putting a poll up here, and this is gonna kind of lead us into this segment here. But Dan Orlovsky came out and he spoke a little bit about the Detroit Lions. Jalen, I threw a graphic in there. It's a quote graphic from Dan Orlovsky, and he's always been very high. He praises the Detroit Lions very high, obviously because he played in Detroit for a little while, but he had something to say here. You guys will see in regards to the offense. He said Detroit, details-wise, specifically on offense, is one of, if not the best coached team in all of football.
Yes.
And I think when he did say all of football, like, he did mention, like, I think he's saying Dan Campbell, and then specifically I think as well as on offense, he's speaking a little bit in regards to Ben Johnson. And
because I think he was breaking down some Ben Johnson offense on, I forget what show it was. Get Up or First Take, his show. He was breaking down the offense. A couple ESPN shows, Pat McAfee show, had a couple different people break down the Lions.
Yes.
Including, well, it wasn't a breakdown, but J.J. Watt was talking a little bit of...
Well, J.J. Watt spoke about the line. And you know what went through my head when I watched that clip?
What?
And I don't know if we're allowed to play ESPN clips on here, so that's why I didn't clip it. I left it, and we had this graphic, so I used it. But J.J. Watt basically was like, hey, first of all, this Detroit Lions team is legit. And this is where, Broder, when I get in these arguments with guys like Easy and Jeff and Lucas and Spencer, like and these guys who try and come at me for saying I'm crazy for thinking this team's legit, guys like J.J. Watt, Dan Orlovsky, Pat McAfee,
football players, like professional.
Like, all these guys are on these huge shows. AQ Shipley, like, they all are sitting here going, guys, this Detroit Lions team is no joke.
Louis Riddick.
They sit there, Louis Riddick, like, they'll break down the film and be like, legit, look at this. Like, these schemes that they're drawing up, their offense right now, and this is going to be the next two segments, so we're going to talk about the offense. Dan Orlovsky breaks these games down. Baldinger, he does it. Like, these people know that the Detroit Lions are a Super Bowl caliber team. Tony Romo came out the other day and said it. I just think the way that these people are talking about him, I do believe that this might be, Broder, in the next segment, we're going to break it down compared to last year's teams. I think this might be the best offense in the NFL right now. I know the Ravens stopped them, but they also stopped the Seahawks. When this team's going at 100% with Jahmyr Gibbs and all these weapons they have, this might be the best offense in the NFL.
Yeah.
Someone tell me different. Like, right now, please. Dolphins didn't look like it the other week. Who else? 49ers, they lost 4 straight. They just won their first game. The Chiefs, they could have figured anything out with Travis Kelce. This actually might be the best offense in the NFL right now.
I think you collect all the offenses together and all of them are healthy. I'll put a healthy Detroit Lions offense over anyone in the league. Or I'll put them right there with anyone, if not over. Obviously, things that we've only seen them healthy one game, like completely healthy, and it was a near dominant effort on offense. It wasn't a dominant game. It was a dominant effort on offense. It's scary the things they can do. I hope they can keep doing that. You got to expect there are going to be some injuries they got to deal with, but I mean, you named them. Miami. We can't put Buffalo in the category. Baltimore. I'll take a Ben Johnson coached offense. I'll take this offensive line and these guys any day of the week.
Yeah.
I'd pick them over any
Some of
other
those
team.
schemes, and if you guys haven't yet, when we're done with our show today at 10, don't do it now, but when we're done at 10, go look up some of these film breakdowns that they have. Because A.Q. Shipley, today, he broke down the Detroit Lions offensive line and some of these different schemes that they have, the runnings, and he showed it to Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown. He showed a couple other longer runs, and the way he broke it down, I'm telling you, dude, it was just like Ben Johnson. It's like, whoa.
Oh, my word.
Jeez,
Had to be
crazy.
over 100.
120, 150, I don't even know. That was a need for some Fast and Furious going on out there.
Yeah.
That was Vin Diesel that just drove by.
Seriously, chasing down Tony Petiti. He's got to get to him fast before he does something stupid.
I just, like, dude, these schemes that they draw, like, Ben Johnson's just sitting there with the coloring book just dominating that thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a green notebook from Waterboy. Like, he has that green notebook that has every the best plays of all time. Like, that man is just cooking up, and when these guys break these plays down, I'm like mesmerized. Oh my gosh, Ben Johnson, how do you even think of that?
That I've already decided, like, that's going to be a big part of my offseason, like learning how to better break down.
Same. I would love to learn a little bit more about film.
I understand football. I get it. I just it's that next level of formations and schemes and kind of thinking ahead of what the other persons do. I naturally can do that with baseball, but football, this is why I love covering the Lions, covering football, because, like, I'm literally learning something new every day. But there's so much you can learn about how Ben Johnson's mind works, how he's thinking ahead with some of these schemes against whatever type of defensive coverage they're against the defensive rush. Like, there's so many pieces to it all, and he just manages to stay a step or two ahead each time, and that's what they show on these. It's like, you can see them in motion doing this, so that's why the defense is doing that, and Ben Johnson does what? He goes that way. And look who's wide open. Amon-Ra St. Brown for a touchdown.
the keys to wisdom said Booner needs to watch old school film, learn the game and the older names at the same time. That, you know what? I actually could do that because I don't know a ton of, like, older names, like, more so newer for me. Which I could definitely do that.
We should have Braylon break down some film for, like, our
show.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, we should.
Attaboy.
That's a segment.
Smart.
I'm gonna text him.
Braylon's breakdowns.
The away fan, Booner. I love you, buddy, but the Eagles have an offense head and over shoulders better than the Lions. I disagree.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know about head and shoulders.
I completely disagree.
I could accept the argument that they have a better offense. Not head and shoulders. There's too much Dandruff.
I think there's a chance where on a week-on-week basis you can sit there and say, yeah, funny. Which I actually found out the other day, off topic here real quick.
Pyrithione zinc.
If you shampoo your hair every day, you get dandruff.
Yeah, you gotta do it like every other day, like 3-4 times a week.
No, because sometimes I do get dry scalp, but like I shampoo my scalp. Yeah, I shampoo my hair every day, and then someone was like, do it like once a week.
I ain't gonna lie, Boone. No, you can't do that because hair get dry to fall out. You wash your
my hair has been falling out a little bit.
You wash your hair and, like, shampoo it maybe like a couple days a week, and you just keep it moist with grease or whatever you use. Yeah, because if you do that, it's gonna get dry up. So
I just don't like when my hair looks greasy. It bothers me. Since I've been a kid, I've hated it. Like when I wake up and like my hair's greasy, I just like one of the most, like, I feel like I look dirty, and I hate being dirty.
Brother cooked with that one.
He did.
The shampoo?
Yeah.
But like, all right. Let's break this down.
Okay, Eagles ain't
head and shoulders. That's where it came from. You're right.
Yeah, that was a good.
Nick, you don't think the Eagles are head and shoulders above?
I do not think they are head and shoulders. There's no way. I think we have the number one ranked offense right now in the league.
Second.
The second? Is it behind the Eagles?
The Dolphins.
All right, there we go. Good. But no, I just wanted to go back to this Chargers game for 1 second. They could not stop us. We only punted basically one drive out of the entire game. With our full offensive weapons back and the healthy line, nobody is stopping this team, especially if this team is in Ford Field.
No. And you know what? Let's go into this real quick. The Philadelphia Eagles are behind the Detroit Lions in passing offense. They're behind the Detroit Lions in rushing offense. Points per game, they're 2 points more per game. But guess who they've played? And at the same time as well, their defense goes and scores touchdowns too. Mm-hmm. They have a great defense. Our defense only has 1 pick six all year. So that's points added on to that. But They played the New England Patriots, who are one of the worst teams in football right now. The Minnesota Vikings, who give up big-time points. You take their over every single week. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who the Detroit Lions beat by 14+. The Washington Commanders, who give up a ton of points. The Los Angeles Rams, who they gave up their whole defense, and they only scored 23 points on them. The New York Jets, one of the best defenses in the league, right? Guess what? They lost, and they only scored 14 points. The Miami Dolphins, a team that didn't have Jalen Ramsey, and their defense has struggled, 31 points. The Commanders, again, a team that gives up a ton of points. The only one I'll give them credit for all year, guys, is the Dallas Cowboys last week. They scored 28 points on the Cowboys. I will give them credit for that. But let's not sit up here and act like the Detroit Lions offense, Ben Johnson, these weapons just aren't consistently hammering teams. And you can't compare them to the Eagles, because the Detroit Lions have more passing yards a game, rushing yards a game, total yards a game. Every stat they are besides points per game, and that's because of the teams they've played.
And their backfield is our sloppy seconds.
Yes, that is actually true.
It's kind of true, and I actually am a big Swift fan, so love you, buddy. But no, you can almost like cross off offensive line, like even, wide receiver group even. You can maybe say tight end even. I'm picking Laporta, but these units are very good for both teams. Jalen Hurts, I think, is an elite quarterback, but I do think our backfield is significantly better than the Eagles' backfield. So I'll go with that. Did you know we talk a lot about the Lions' schedule for the rest of the season being a cakewalk, being easy? They had up until this point, they had the second hardest strength of schedule in the NFC. The San Francisco 49ers are the only ones with a harder strength of schedule than the Lions. The Eagles are,
to start the year,
are two below that. Yeah, to start up until after this Chargers game.
And they still have had a better offense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. When we come back, though, I do want to. This is what I want to do when we come back.
Yeah.
We've got a 10-minute segment. I want to come back and talk. The segment I had here is I wanted to compare the Lions to other, and kind of a great segment. Compare them to other offenses around the NFL, not just this year. I went back to last year and looked at the teams that were in the top 5 last year and kind of where those teams ranked to now. And I kind of want to go over that a little bit, Broder, and break that down. So.
Do that. So I'm going to tell them about Feldman. You're going to tell them about Guardian, and then we're going to do that. So, Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer since 1996. Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. Me too. Called the Feldman Advantage. They got 18 locations, so there's got to be a dealership in your backyard. Just visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you, and catch Woodward Sports there every other Monday at their Novi location. They will be there. Morning Woodward Show and Big D Energy this Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
And then let me tell you guys about the best defense in the world. That is Guardian Alarm. It is customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions that are specific to all of your needs. They have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can give them a call anytime, day or night, and know that a team member will be there and stay on the phone as long as needed. That is that technology that is backed by people, where your safety and security deserve technology that is proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Make sure for that defense, call the number 1-800-STAY OUT.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness! Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has been providing Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with beef, prime beef, dry-aged beef, Wagyu beef, all the beef you could ask for. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or get some beef online at fairwaypacking.com.
Fairway, baby! We've got the meats, the beef.
Whose is that? The other one?
Yeah, I don't want to. No
shout out for your shout out.
It was like you wore that beer hat the other day.
Shout out to roast beef.
Did they pay you to wear that beer hat the other day?
No, I just had it in my car and I had mad like bedhead. I took a nap before I came in.
Yeah,
so.
he didn't wash his hair every single day. Or did.
I'm gonna try that one point. I don't know when and I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it maybe on a weekend when I don't have to go out. It's gonna have to be after football season because I'm here every day. So it'll be after football season. I'll try it. I'll let you guys know.
Fair.
All right, deal?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, on woodwardsports.com, everything. We've got the social media platforms. Go check it out. We're on our way to 100,000 on every single one, by the way.
Let's go.
100K Vegas getaway.
I remember when it was way lower, and we've grown that thing a lot. Make sure if you guys haven't already, hit that like button before the end of this segment. I think we should all hit 100 likes. 17 to go. If you haven't yet, go hit that like button for us. We're gonna get into this though. A little branch off from last conversation, Broder.
Brian branch off?
A little Brian branch off, but it's going to be about the offense. Dan Orlovsky obviously talked about how the Lions have probably the best coaching in the NFL, and this offense might be one of the best in the NFL. That's where we're going with this. I want to compare this team to some of the other teams around the NFL. And to be honest, I'm going to be quite frank with you, Broder.
Be quite frank
I have no clue on this offense where the weakness is right now. Zero clue. I looked up and down. I looked everywhere on this offense. They have the wide receivers, and it's not that they don't have like the star wide receivers like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, but that wide receiver core, they do what they need to do. Ben Johnson, he knows what they're doing. They have a great OC. They have a great quarterback. They have two great running backs. They have a great tight end, one of the best in the NFL. Offensive line, best in the NFL. There is no weaknesses on this offense, Broder.
There's none.
I don't know. That was going to be my first question to you. Is like, someone please, I want someone to tell me where the weakness is on this offense.
You can't say Graham Glasgow.
Might say Jared Goff. I disagree because right now he's top 5 in the NFL.
Yeah. I wouldn't say Jared Goff, but maybe just Jared Goff's mobility. If pressure hits him hard. If you're really nitpicking, if you have to say something, I could say maybe his mobility.
But if you do that, then you'll be like, well, then Amon-Ra St. Brown's deep ball, or like you know what I mean?
True that.
Like,
yeah, 100%.
That's the part of this.
Just devil's advocate.
That's the part of Ben Johnson's offense. It's like he knows how to put the guys in there. Like that's why the Ravens game was so bad. Didn't establish the run. Didn't put Jared Goff in the position to win.
Even the coach isn't a weakness. Like it's lit. I mean, who is the worst player on this? Like the wide receiver group is deep. The tight end group is deep. Dude, you can't say Graham Glasgow is the weakest link because he's been a top 5 guard.
Baller.
It's incredible, and that's why the health is so key.
This is a great point, too. The keys to wisdom, like every offense and defense, the weakness is injuries to key on top of guys.
Perfect. Yeah, 100%.
Health. Yeah, I agree with that. And you know what? But you know what this Detroit Lions offense has had? Big V has gone down, Graham Glasgow steps up. Mm-hmm. If a guy goes down, there's always a backup. David Montgomery went down a few games. Jahmyr Gibbs stepped up. Jahmyr Gibbs was down. David Montgomery stepped up.
Yes. Yodi. Awasika. We got Colby Sorsdale. He stepped in and played big minutes. Dan Skipper. Literally signed him off the streets. He came in and produced. How many offensive linemen got Matt Nelson and Neese? There have been a couple guys go down for the year.
Yeah.
Backups, too, but more backups continue to step in. They just went and signed Schofield.
Yep.
No, sorry. I was just teeing you up for something, but so didn't really do the trick. Because I don't know what you're about to say, so we just
This is where I'm going to go with this.
Go with it.
I want to compare too because the best way to kind of see if a team's a Super Bowl contender is to look at. You almost dropped there.
Yeah,
I almost broke your ankles there.
Oh yeah.
But the best thing to do is if you want to see if this team is a Super Bowl offense, if they can do that, go look at last year's teams. Who was at the top? Who was at the top and ended the year in the conference championships? Who were they? Right? The Bills, the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Bengals. Those teams all went. That was the Final Four, correct?
San Fran and Eagles on the NFC.
San Fran Eagles, Bills not Bills, Bengals and Chiefs. Right before that, the Bills. Let's look at the offenses from last year that were in the top 5.
Oh, boy. Tell me.
Because this is where you need to be if you want to be great, right? Number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. What did they do?
Won the Super Bowl.
They went and won the Super Bowl. Was their defense great? Be honest.
Above average, below great.
I think they were like 11th ranked in the NFL. When I'm looking here on ESPN, when it comes down to yards or something, 11th or 12th. They weren't even top 10. Number 2, the Buffalo Bills. The last 2 years, guess what? They're competing for a Super Bowl. Right now, you can argue now.
Yeah, we're talking about last year.
But the Buffalo Bills, we're talking about last year. Number 3, guess who else is number 3? The Philadelphia Eagles. What were they doing last year? They were in the Super Bowl. I'm going to skip 4. I'm going to go number 5. The San Francisco 49ers.
Should have probably been in the Super Bowl. Yeah, one of the best teams all year.
Number 4 last year was your Detroit Lions.
Offensively. Dude, I didn't even think about that.
But the point to this is the Detroit Lions aren't just number 4 this year. They're not there. The Detroit Lions right now are on their way to being the number 1 offense in the NFL. That's where the Chiefs were last year. They're on their way to being top 3. And guess who the top 3 teams were? The Chiefs and the Eagles were in there. The 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl. Those were the top 3 offenses. 2 of the top 3. The Detroit Lions right now are number 2. If they stay up there and they keep playing offenses like this, yes, their defense isn't the best, but if your defense can hold your own multiple drives throughout a game in the playoffs, and that offense is the number 1, number 2 in the NFL, you're going to be in shootouts, yes, but you're going to win those. And Jared Goff, actually, let's play that video. Goff. Actually, Broder asked Jared Goff a question, and this leads perfectly into this point here about this offense kind of keeping up with other teams. And you did ask him, hey, and I'll let you take what you asked him. No, it was a great question.
I was just really curious. Like, thinking back to some games that Jared Goff has played in, some big games, when shootouts happen, he seems to bring his A game. I think I actually literally said that, but he plays really well. He's beat Mahomes, he's beat Herbert. I know there's been some others that I'm not remembering. He plays well. So I was just curious, like, is that something? Is he thinking about that going into the game? We got to score a lot of points against Justin Herbert, or is there a moment in the game that hits him, and this is what he responded with?
Throughout your career, whenever there's been a shootout, you kind of always brought your A game. You've always stepped up. Is there a moment during a game like this weekend against the Chargers where it hits you like we got to score some points and you up your game, or what goes into that in your mind?
I think you just know you're going to need points. I don't think you change how you're playing or anything. I think about halftime. You know, when they scored pretty quickly there before half to tie it up, I believe is right after the half, is when you go, okay, like, you know, we may need, you know, a few more touchdown drives here, and they were able to do some good things offensively, but so are we.
So he realizes in the middle of the game, like, okay, we're in a shootout now. We got to roll. We're going to need to put more touchdowns on the board. We can't settle for field goals. We got to score some points. Jared Goff, he definitely gets it, and I'm sure Ben Johnson's involved in that too, in terms of how the game's going, the game plan. But man, to hear that, it was a good response.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think that it is a very good point to where if you look at the Dan Orlowski comments, if you look at what we've been saying, at the end of the day, Broder, like this team, they're going to adapt to whatever team they're playing. If they and that's the great thing about this. If they're playing in a game where you just need to go run the ball and pound, like ground and pound, kind of like the Michigan Wolverines did this week.
Yeah,
the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff will do that. If Jared Goff needs to go out there and make a play in some way and kind of like they're going to adapt to whatever. When they notice, hey, we're in a shootout, Jared Goff, all right, let's adapt. I'm going to do that, and that's the great thing about him. And I think I said it in the back too. I think it goes both ways. Like when the offense struggles just a little bit, you've seen it sometimes this year, not a ton, but you've seen sometimes the defense say, hey, we've got your back.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to step up, and we've seen that sometimes this year.
They have faith in each other, even though the defense hasn't played as good or played up to the level as the offense, clearly. They have faith in each other, and it's going to come together. You want me to tell them about Mark White Real Estate, or did you have anything more on this topic? Because I thought that was great. Painting that picture for us.
I just want to shout you out talking to Jared Goff.
Come on.
Killed it.
You and Jared Goff, best friends now.
That'd be ideal. It's little by little, gaining that experience, gaining a little bit of credibility. Just try to sneak my questions, and I had an opportunity. It's like, you know what, I'm going to go for it.
I do have something. I'll say it when we open up real quick when we come back.
Cool.
Let me say great chemistry in that locker room by you and Jared there. Great chemistry.
That's what we're trying to put. Walter White, we're just trying to cause a little combustion. But you're right. When you're buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. So sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your leasing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That's exactly what you can do with Mark White and Associates minute-by-minute listing agreement. So visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. Again, markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success. Yeah.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Just in time for football. Glorious! Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you're missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Check us out online at www.gloriouscanna.com.
Glorious, baby. We are back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all of you guys locking in here. This Boston-Philly game going on, I took the live over while we were on the show at 224.5. Does not look good. It's at 209. We need 15 more points in about 2.5 minutes.
You're a degen.
There we go. 12 more points. I am a little bit. Not that much, but I do give out winners. We're going to get into this. If you haven't yet, hit that like button for us. Almost to 100. Let's get this thing up. Let's get to 115. Don't know what the heavies we're at, but we're chasing. I told Easiest, I'm coming after you. He knows it. I'm chasing him down. And I can chase Easy down. That's a fact.
You could?
Oh, dude, come on.
I don't know. Hey.
He probably can move a little bit, though. I'm not going to lie.
He's just he's a sneaky athlete.
Yeah,
and they're both, he and Spenny are getting into the gym. They're getting the fit. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep their nicknames after this winter. They're getting
the Woodward lightweights.
They're hitting the weights.
Yeah, the Woodward light heavyweights.
Yeah.
From Woodward Sports. That's like their new name. All right, let's get into it then. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's talk a little college football here. A lot of things happened in college football last week. I love this time of the year, and I'm sure everyone does as well. Like, when you start getting into these, like, week 11, 12, 13, like, these end season weeks, you start getting some big-time matchups. Last week, we saw number 9 Ole Miss fall to Georgia big time. Michigan beat Penn State. Florida State got the win over Miami. Washington over your Utes over there in Utah. USC is 7-4 now. Texas got a big win to go 9-1. There are games going on here, and it's every single week. Rivalry weeks coming up. College football playoff rankings came out. Georgia's number 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, and Florida State 4. I'm gonna go to Nick and Jalen on this though. First, I just want your thoughts here real quick. College football playoff rankings. I know there's this thing, and I'll kind of set you guys up for this. Washington 5, Oregon 6, Texas 7, and then Bama 8.
Sneaky.
Is college football playoff rank, is this where you guys think it should be, or is there a team that you think, because I've seen people mix and match these. I've seen Michigan outside the top 4 a couple times.
Yeah, I don't see anything outrageous here, but I will say this this big game for Washington coming up against Oregon State, and I know that they are not favored in that game. That's going to have massive playoff college football implications.
Huge.
But one thing, just real quick, I wanted to highlight on this list is that next year we have 5 of these top 12 teams that are going to be playing in the Big Ten with Ohio State, Michigan, Washington, Oregon, Penn State, obviously with USC coming in as well. But I think this is a big reason why ESPN is so much on the hate trail because they're SEC biased all the time, because the ratings and the numbers, they want to lean towards SEC way, but what they don't realize is what they're doing. They're getting everybody to go check out like Fox and whatnot, and the Fox Noon kickoff is just doing absolute numbers once again.
Can you guys think, Jen, I'll come to you with that, but just thinking like the 12-team playoff if it was this year, it would have been the perfect year. Like it would have been nuts this year. What are your thoughts on this college football playoff, Ray? Anything like? And I know this week's huge as well. There's some big games this week.
I think this week is going to be pretty hard for Washington and Oregon State. I don't think they're going to win. To be honest, like Michael Penix he usually comes through, but like Oregon State's rough, man. Like they usually, make it a game. They made it hard. I forgot which team it was. They did lose against Arizona though. I will say that, but Washington almost lost to the Utes this week, so I'm not too confident in them. My Final Four though, if I can go that route, is going to end up being Michigan, Bama, Florida State, and Oregon.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And I say that because I don't see Bo Nix losing to Michael Penix again. They lost because of a field goal last time.
That's a great point.
Georgia has, their team back, Brock Bowers back and things like that, but Bama's clicking. And it's like you don't want to bet against Nick Saban in the playoff. You know what I mean? And Florida State hasn't had a rough schedule yet, and Michigan's going to win the whole thing. But to my defense, though, Bama's going to sneak in there, and we're going to play either one of them. We play Florida State, we're going to kill them too. But Bo Nix and Oregon, they're going to beat Washington again.
Yeah, I love Oregon and Bo Nix. I love that team. Like, if you watch that, like, I know Jalen bet, like, we all bet the games. Oregon's overs, like, I feel like hit all, like, they put up so many points. I gave out a couple weeks ago, too. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago on the show. I think it was Bama to win the national championship at, like, 16-1. And they moved all the way up already to plus 750.
Yeah, I threw a 50 burger on it last weekend.
Yeah, I think I said it a couple weeks ago. I was like, you really, because like think about that. Like Bama started to come into their own. They still had a chance to go to the SEC championship, which they're going to, and they can beat Georgia. Like they're playing so well. If you see Nick Saban at 16-1 or whatever it is, you take it and you run.
Somebody in the comments said, how is Georgia not going to be in the playoff? Well, they're not going to be in there because I truly think they're going to lose to Bama in the SEC championship. Yep. And when the rankings come out, if FSU is still undefeated, Michigan is going to be undefeated, I'm assuming, and let's hopeful that's going to happen. Oregon's going to beat Washington, and then you can't put Georgia over Bama if they lose.
No, you can't. The winner of that game gets in, and then it comes down to who's the next best one-win team, I think.
Oregon.
And it's going to end up, if Oregon wins the Pac-12,
boys, man.
You have to take the winner of the Pac-12, especially if it's an Oregon who's only lost one game and Bo Nix is out there having a Heisman year. Like, you can't leave them out. The college football committee, they're going to have it's going to be tough for them. If things work out the way they will, and that's like, say Washington wins this week, that's going to be tougher for them to make decisions.
Do you guys think Texas is going to be on the outside looking in?
100%.
Yeah. They can win the Big 12 though still, so I don't.
They have 2 losses?
One.
But they're not going to get they're not going to get another big win in doing it. Oklahoma lost to Kansas.
Oklahoma, right?
Oklahoma lost to Kansas, so they're 8-2. I mean, they got them up at 14, but how high can they climb? But one question just wanted to pose to you boys. We are 2 weeks out of the game. And I'm going to come to Broder first on this one.
Sheesh!
Are you worried about these Buckeyes at all?
Well, they're a good team. I mean, I'm not going to be an idiot and say this. Michigan's going to blow them out, which they might. But I think all of this, all the craziness surrounding the Michigan program has only focused them more, has only made this game that much more important. I maybe have a little more hesitation if they were playing in Columbus, even though they beat them last year in Columbus. But no, I think this team, this Penn State game showed us, all right, when their back's up against the wall, they're the villains, whether you agree with that or not. They felt like the villains, and that just ultra-focused them, and they got the job done.
The spread, it's 5.5.
Oh, man, I love when it's
a little early look. It's at 5.5 right now.
Michigan favored?
Michigan favored at home.
That's pretty high.
Booner, anything that worries you with the Buckeyes?
I mean, obviously, I think there's the Marvin Harrison stuff, but I just think the Michigan, like, they have, like, Will Johnson will be on him. Like, I trust him.
Their secondary is playing great. Will Johnson and Sanders still?
It's just, you know what it is? Whose defense is better? And that's usually, I feel like, the last 2 years what this game's come down to, because the defense, like, Michigan's defense has been so good the last 2 years, and they've been able to hold Ohio State. Like, they still scored, but they still. I just think this defense is going to lock down, and Ohio State's offense is going to put, 17 points up, and Michigan will score another 30-40.
Ooh.
I think that's how it's going to end up.
Hell of a call.
Talk dirty 17. to me.
Yeah, maybe. Well, okay, I just think I don't know.
I get what you're
they
saying.
They haven't given up 10 points
yeah.
yet this year, but in a rivalry game,
insane.
like they might get a couple touchdowns. I wouldn't be surprised.
At the end of the day, we talk about the Lions all day long. Their offensive line is their identity, and that can take them as far as they want to go. Michigan, for the third straight year, I know they haven't gotten the award yet, but okay, for the last 2 years, they've had the best offensive line in the country, and they're going to do it again. And that can take you so far, especially with guys like Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards running behind you. But Booner, before we get to mailbag, get your questions in. If you could hit that like and then put a question. Oh, this is to Nick. Come on, baby. I messed that one up.
Shout out. Planet Fitness is a home of a judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. All for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter who you are or where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Landscapers, let's talk about it. Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports Network. Michigan grown, family owned. They have everything you need. If you want to see me on a mower, go get a bad boy mower. Tractors, steel handhelds, even weed whippers. They have Liberty trailers, Generac generators, snow X-Plows and salters. They have it all. You do not want to miss it. Buy it. You can rent it. 0% financing, not $100. 0% financing. Delivery right to your doorstep. Look at right up above us. Go over to outdoorequipco.com.
We made it. Final stretch.
Made it. The final stretch, baby.
It's the final countdown.
This show goes by so fast now.
It does.
And shout out the Pistons with that one too. Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, as always. Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter for the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey.
Jalen in the TD booth and Nick in the sound booth. Full squad today on the Woodward Sports Network. If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us. You guys see they're on our poll. We're going for 125 before the show's over. Helps out the algorithm, push the show out a little bit so we can keep growing this family that we have here in the chat. Let's hit it though. Mailbag, Broder.
Yep. ETN RC1422 mailbag. If the Buffalo Bills miss the playoffs and Josh Allen continues turning the ball over, will Allen still be regarded as a top 3 quarterback in the league?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Yes, he will, or yes, he won't.
Will be regarded as a top 5.
That wasn't the question. Top 3.
Okay. Maybe not 3, but like 4 or 5. He scored the most touchdowns out of any player in the NFL over the last 6 seasons. The only problem is that man just cannot figure out a way to take care of the ball. But his skill, if someone wants to sit up here and argue with me that he doesn't have the skill set as one of the best, go look at every statistical category right now in the NFL for a quarterback. He is top 3 in every single category. That is a fact. Go look at it. He's even top 3 in turnovers. Yes. But go look at his category. Rushing for quarterbacks, passing for quarterbacks, completion percentage, quarterback rating, touchdowns, everything. Josh Allen is top 3 in the NFL. Go look it up. He's a top 3 quarterback. Just needs to figure out how to take care of that damn ball. That's all.
Isn't takeaways, turnovers like your go-to?
It is. To lose, I'm not saying he doesn't win or lose.
I know.
He's been losing games. The keys to the game is win the turnover battle, you win the game. Yeah. That man loses in every game. And maybe it was because of the OC that they had and they were putting him in bad positions.
Kenny D. Talent-wise,
sorry, I just went off on that.
No,
ETN, you're still. I think ETN followed me on social the other day, so shout out. I think
talent-wise, he's as good as anyone in the league. So I was just poking. Travis
ETN?
No, maybe. Who knows? Mailbag from Phil. Anyone want in? What's next for the Tigers?
Oh man, I don't even.
Anyone have an opinion?
They're gonna make the playoffs.
Hell yeah, Jay and I get to
playoffs,
baseball.
baby.
What's next? Jay, you lead this one off. I'll follow you on this one.
If you want.
Free agency's next, you know what I mean? A lot of good free agents out there. You know, Shohei Ohtani, you know, who knows?
They're not getting him.
You never know. We got a lot of free agents. Scott Harris is here. You know, this is first year in the offseason. I think we're going to have a lot of good prospects coming up. I think our team is going to be very young, kind of like the Pistons, young, but like more so established in a way. Because we ain't get Casey coming back, you know, Terry Scooble. It's going to be a lot of you know, decision making too. Like a lot of good players coming up. So I don't know, man.
He just won't be in the. I think he's just going to be. Oh no, he'll be playing full. Yeah, he's got the surgery.
He might be in right field.
They said that he will be back. Confirmed.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is I want to see him make a splash at the pitching and with the lineup. I honestly really want this young.
I know you're going to say that.
Pitcher, Yamamoto.
It's not going to happen.
Yamamoto from, I believe, if I'm pronouncing that right, he was an absolute dog. In the, I believe it was
he won their Cy Young
League or the Japan
2 straight
League.
years.
Yeah, he is an animal. If you can get him to go with Terry Scooble and all of our young pitchers, and then add another top bat to the lineup to help torque out Riley Green,
Lourdes Gurriel,
everything's gonna work out. But I just don't think that they're gonna spend the money and do it, to be honest.
Can I throw this mailbag out real quick?
Of course.
Big Con. This is a good one. And at first I read it and I was like, there's no way. But he said, do you think Rodrigo is going to have a touchdown this year? And the reason he said was he's been in the backfield a bit.
He has.
I think you might, the way Ben Johnson has ran his offense, I think there's a chance to where towards the end of the season, teams watch film. Great defensive coordinators watch film. They see Rodrigo. They kind of might just be like, oh no, he's just going to block. He's going to block. And then one time, catch him off guard, kind of like a push, and boom. Oh, we got $25. Jeff Brewster.
JB. Shot clock buzzer. Or not shot clock. Buzzer beater. Yeah.
I do like that take, though.
It goes.
I know we're right up against. I like that
we'll
take.
We'll go a couple minutes over because we did start pretty late today.
No, all good. We can end it. But he's going to have, like, everything you said I agree with. He's going to have to give the ball to Rodrigo one time, like, throughout the year just to keep them off balance. But I do think just the creativity. They get to that goal line. Hey, why not hand it off to your fullback with Jahmyr Gibbs going that way, David Montgomery going that way, whatever it is. Hey, you got one more?
Let's hit 2 or 3 more. We started mailbag about 4 minutes ago. No?
Okay. No, let's do it. Let's do it. We're making a habit of this.
Yeah, we got it. We do got to cut it. The Morning Woodward Show's been doing it. They've been going about 6 minutes over every day.
They have. We got a question?
I see what they're doing. Yeah, mailbag, Steve Lehman. This might be for you, brother. I don't know if you have any names out there. Is there any free agents still out there that you wouldn't mind seeing Brad bring in? Has there been anything that... I think there's a corner out there. I can't remember his name.
Jack Jones that just got released or something.
Throwing my eyes. No, I think he got picked up by the Cardinals.
They did just sign a cornerback. I've never heard of him to their practice squad. To be honest, I'm not opposed to Ndamukong Suh. Like, I'm sort of in that camp. I don't know if he's necessarily need. I don't know. I think of him a lot like Bruce Irvin as a guy who could come in as a veteran help. Not the guy he used to be, but I'm indifferent if they don't get him. But hey, he could be out there.
What about this one? This is actually to you. I'm gonna Big Con. I'm not gonna say Hakeem Nicks or Hakeem Hicks, but he said mailbag. What do you think about Taylor Lewan signing? Maybe available. Still available.
I love Taylor Lewan. I would not want to sign him. I don't know if you've seen him. He's lost like 60 or 70 pounds.
He could put that on quick, he said.
Yeah, but we're in week 11. Like, Taylor Lewan's great. Don't get me wrong. He's been one of the best left tackles in the L, but he's a left tackle. They're going to play him in front of Jack.
I think maybe
Taylor.
Knock on wood if something happens. Taylor was hurt at one point this year, not Lawan Decker.
Yeah.
If something happens, I think you go look at him. All right, one last one.
We go way back. Taylor and I overlapped at Michigan.
I'm waiting for us to get him on the show.
I've had a couple nights with Taylor.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot. I've watched some of his stuff, and I've heard a lot of stories that he's thrown out there.
Broder,
we need to get him in
hear
studio.
One of those on
you know what?
Woodward Nights.
Michigan, Ohio State. Let's reach out. Let's get him in studio.
The Bussin' Bowl?
A lot of people are going to be here though for Michigan, Ohio State. I can guarantee you he's going to be here for Michigan, Ohio State. Let's see if on Friday we can get him in Friday night, 8 to 10, and then we'll go out with Taylor Lewan that night. He can't handle Booner.
I can't handle him.
All right, appreciate you guys locking in with us. Maybe we'll get a little Taylor Lewan appearance next Friday. Who knows? We'll see what Broder magic can happen. We'll see you guys tomorrow, though. Appreciate all of you guys. On your way out, we're 10 likes away from 125. If you guys can all hit that when you guys leave here. Appreciate you guys a ton. We will see you tomorrow, 8 p.m.